Claire from createdtheottaway. I'm an independent demonstrator for Stampin' Up in the UK. Thank you for joining me today. What have we got today? We've got an easy explosion box, but with a bit of a different lid, a shaker lid. I don't know if that's showing up with the light, but you just take the lid off, and then inside is just a couple of pockets to slot things in, some space for some sentiments, and then the very lovely curvy keepsake box in the middle, just a mini one, just perfect. I've die cut that from the brushed metallic sheets that come in 3 shades, which is perfect for this Blackberry Beauty DSP that I've used. The designer series paper this year is just so scrummy. There's just too many different designs that are just lovely. Talking of which, the newest one out is Eden's Garden. So let me show you how to make one of these really simple boxes with a lovely little lid with Eden's Garden paper. So what do you need? If I put that there, hopefully you'll be able to pick up the sizes while I chat away to you. I'm going to use some soft succulent and some evening evergreen because they're the main colours that are in Eden's Garden. And we're going to start with doing the base of the box. There seems like rather a long list there. Don't worry, I will go through it as we craft along together. So we are going to need some Eden's Garden. I've actually got a square here, so I'm hoping that that is going to be the right size. Now that needs to be 8 1/4 by 8 1/4. So get out your trusty trimmer and scorer. Hopefully it's a bit of a moment where here's one I preferred earlier. Yay! 8 1/4. Wow, look at that. 8 1/4. So when you've done your square, remember this is the base of your box. We're going to score it in a couple of places. So we want 2 3/4. Remember, get that cutting blade out the way, and you're just going to score it at 2 3/4. I like to press quite firmly on mine because it's going to be folded up. Okay, so you can see that score line there. And then the next one is 5 1/2. Okay, so right the way down, 5 1/2. Then we're just going to turn it once, and we're going to do those same sizes again, 2 3/4 and 5 1/2. Now, if you've never made an explosion box before, and you've seen loads around, it can seem quite daunting, but really it's so much easier than it looks. We're only doing 1 layer on ours. Sorry, 5 1/2 is your other score line. We're just doing 1 layer, so that's pretty, just do that again. That's pretty basic and nice and easy if you're just starting out, but also a nice quick make if you've been doing crafting a lot longer. You can easily layer it up with 2 or 3 layers and make something even more of a wow. But for today we're going to let the DSP do the talking. So back to our card, well, our square. It should now have 9 squares on it of equal distance. So the first score line was 2 3/4. Next one's 5 1/2. Turn it round, 2 3/4, 5 1/2, and that gives you your 9 squares. Now I've realised that Evening Evergreen is not the best card to see on camera, but we're there now. What you're now going to do is cut each corner off. So the square that's here, if you line your score line from this point here to this point here, and we're just going to be a little bit ruthless and cut it straight off. So I'm just getting it there to there, and if you put your blade in the middle, oh, that one's, it's not even clicked in, that's it. Put your blade in the middle and then go down and up, and that gives you a really nice crisp edge. Now we're not going to need that. So you're going to turn it round to the next corner and do exactly the same. There you go. Press it down in the middle, up, down, remove the corner. Turn it around again. So we're now on our third corner. I'm just hoping I've changed my setup because we're having some work done. So I've had to come to a different place, and I've just realised I'm probably not even on camera. Right, there. Yep, looks okay. Third corner. And then the very last one. It's a good thing I'm used to talking to myself. Do you do that when you're crafting? Do you chat away to yourself? There you go, 4 corners. So you're left with this shape like this. Now that we're nearly there. Now all we've got to do is do the flaps. So pick a side, any side, and you're going to cut from this point here down to the first score line. So I'm just going to line mine up on the cutting blade. I'm going to push in and up, and I can see exactly where. So if I show you there, there's a little mark in the middle of the cutting blade, and that shows you where your blade is. So if you push it down and go up, so that will give me 2 flaps. I'm going to turn it round because you need the opposite too. So I'm lining up on my score line again, pushing my blade in and going up. Just having a look, it's right. Pushing my blade in and going down. Okay, I think that might be it. Okay, I just need to trim that a little bit because I haven't gone right up. Just get my scissors. Okay. Before I score it, I just want to make sure that I've gone right to the score line. You can hear some noise. That's my little kittens playing in the craft room. They've decided that, she's trying a video, we're going to come along. Okay, so we're just going to burnish those score lines there and there, because that's going to turn into a little pocket. Okay, Rose, you're being too noisy, lovely. Okay, that's going to go over there. You should really do this with a bone folder. I'm not doing it with a bone folder because it's too far to reach over and I'm being lazy. Okay, so that's all your score lines. Now what we need to do is decorate the inside and the outside of the box. So remember I gave you that long list of sizes. Rosie. Thank you. So that was your card and your designer series paper. So what you need is 7 pieces of coloured card. Could be coordinating. It could actually be the same if you want. I'm using soft succulent here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to lay one in the middle. I am going to put one either side of here. Am I? No, let's put it there and there because this is the pocket that's going to go over. One is going to go in this pocket. One is going to go in this pocket, but I'm not going to stick it down. Okay, I'll talk to you about that in a minute. And then these 2 are going to go on there and on there, but we're going to cut them in half. So I'm going to do that now so that they fit on the triangles. So take 2 of your squares, and remember these squares was 2.5 by 2.5, so it's a 1/4 of an inch smaller than what your main box is. And I'm going to cut these diagonals, so I'm just making sure that they're point to point. Put this in the middle like that, so that gives me 1. And I'm going to do this one the same. Do you know, these kittens were asleep, and now as soon as they hear me talking and they know I'm on video, oh, here they come. Okay, so let's do some gluing. So all of these, let's get them all off again so we can do it together. So remember, you wanted 7 squares. We're going to glue these on. So this is the middle square of your box, and that's 2.5 inches by 2.5 inches. Then either side is going to be the same size square, same colour. That's going to go there. You see how quickly it comes together, and that's even without us adding the designer series paper. So there's another one there. Now I'm going to do the flappy bits next. So they're just a triangle, so it's a 2.5 inch square cut in half. And at this stage it doesn't matter which way round, which side you stick on first. So that's 1. And that's 2. Oh. Okay. And do the same on this side. So I want 1 there. Some glue on that one. So I've made this before and turned it into a party in a box. So complete. So one side I've put balloons, I've put a little present box in the middle, and inside I've put a tea light that's made to look like a birthday cake. So that's the birthday cake. And then what else do you have? Oh, in the pockets I've put miniature cards. So you could turn it into any sort of occasion, special box. Okay, let's have a look at that. So that's looking good so far. Now to add the designer series paper. So there's quite a lot of choice with Eden's Garden. Okay, those 2 pieces there that are left, they are just going to be our slot-in bits. So don't worry about those. We're still going to keep hold of those. So now what we need to do is decide which side of the paper. These are cut to 2.25 by 2.25, and you need 5. So I've decided that I want 3 going through the middle that are this pattern. I need to cut those in half, and then the 2 opposite, I think I'm going to have that pattern. Okay, so let's do that now. So just pop some glue in those, because on these sides where I would stick a sentiment on. So what I tend to do with my videos is I'd show you how to do the basic design, the make, and then I leave you to jazz it up and make it your own. Okay, so make sure I've got this paper going the same way. And also sometimes I don't add the sentiments until I know who it's for. Okay, so So that's that one. Now the middle one I can glue down, can't I? Because that's just going to be as it is. And I might put a curvy keepsake box on there, possibly in gold, just to pick up the gold in the Eden's Garden Designer Series paper. And these two I need to cut diagonally again, so let's do that. So I've got my trimmer, I put them diagonally and get my cutting blade in the middle, up and down, and then you don't get any dull corners. So put it on there, put it in the middle, up and down, and that's your triangles again. So bring that back in. Now I need to stick these on. So this one, I'll pick it up, is going to go directly on there. So because it's already 1/4 inch smaller, it just fits really lovely inside. This one is going to go on this side, and I'm going to put that like so. Like that. Now what you're going to do is stick this in place. Now I don't worry too much about sticking the bottom one because it's not, this piece of card is not going to slide through. So I'm just going to put some glue along this line here and just up a bit. And then if I push that down and push that over, that will stay in place. Rosie, not yet, babe. Okay, I'm going to turn it round so I can concentrate on the other side. Just off the camera is 2 cheeky little kittens waiting to pounce. At the end I'll show you. Okay, so that's that one. And then there's this one. That's going to go on that side. Okay, just like that. Looks good. Okay, now I don't want them the same side, so I'm going to do them opposite. So I'm going to put glue on this side. What I mean is I want them folded over opposite. So that one's going that way and this one's going to go this way. Okay. Just like that. So that's that one. Now what I would do with these is put 2 of them together and put some ribbon, like a ribbon tab in between. Shall I do that? Let's have a look. Rose, can you be a ribbon a minute? Bib, need some ribbon. Thank you. Right, let's have a look. What have we got? So this is evening evergreen ribbon. I'm just going to cut a piece off like so. And I think I used some double-sided tape actually, just to hold it in place. Oh, some here. Just going to put that on there, just to give it a bit of oomph. That is going to go like so. And I'm going to put some more over the other side. Just going to put that over there. And when I put the card on, this is quite thick ribbon, so this might not work. and put some Tombow as well. Okay, so I'm just making sure that that's right. So you could add a little photo to there, anything like that, and that will just go in like that, but that gives you a little tab to pull it out. Really simple, quick little pull out tab, and I'll do the same on the other side. Okay, so that essentially is the inside of your box done. What we're also going to do though is decorate the outside of your box, just so it's got a bit of a nice effect on the outside. So I've already picked some Eden's Garden DSP, and I'm going to put that on there, and I've gone for a contrasting colour. The other thing that I do tend to do, not so much when it's against the soft succulent, but when it's against a darker colour, I don't know if you can see there's like a white line where you can see the core of the paper on the designer series paper. I get the same Stampin' Up marker and I just go along the edge of the paper so there's no white core visible, and it just gives a better finish on the outside of your box. Okay, so I'm just going to do that on all 4 pieces, just rubbing the fat end of the marker along, just gets rid of that white core. On the card, Stampin' Up card, it doesn't happen because it's coloured, or it's all dyed all the way through, but on the DSP sometimes, if it's a particularly dark print, you can see the white, especially if you're putting it against a darker card. So now you should be able to see, just going to put it on each side. When I put it on there, you can't see any white outline. So these are actually, what size are they? Let's have a look. I think 2.5 the same. So you've got 4 pieces that are 2.5 by 2.5, and that's just going on the outside of all 4 sides. So just press that down there. There's the next one, and we're nearly done the inside of our box. Well, we've done the inside, we just need this tricky little lid to do. That's super easy. Okay. Now Eden's Garden comes with some really beautiful dies, and I did contemplate cutting them up to make the shaker, and I still might do that. We'll have a look at it in a minute. But I was also playing about with, what set is it? Sparkle of the Season, the seasonal swirly dies, you know, those ones. And there's the most cutest leaves in there. So these little dies here, look, they're absolutely tiny. But you wait till you see the leaves that it die cuts. They are like the cutest thing ever. And seeing as I've got a real love for leaves and trees, they nearly always get incorporated into most all of my makes at some point. So that's the outside of the box. That's really nice actually. That goes really nice. So that is your ta-da box. Okay. Obviously I haven't done the curvy keepsake, that will go in the middle, but that will just sit there. Just die cut it from the brushed metallic. And I need to do another tab for that side. But let's get onto the lid. So the lid, what do we need for a lid? I'm sorry Rose, you just sat down, haven't you? There you go. Okay, so the lid, we need to take another piece of, well, should I do it the same or should I do it different? I think actually I'm going to do it the same this time. Last time I did it the same and it came out okay. So let's do it the same this time. But you could do it in a contrasting colour. So this is Evening Evergreen again. And the sides that you need is 5 and 13/16. Now, if you're like me and maths is not your strong point, what you need to do is cut it at 5 3/4 plus 1 little mark. So that's what I do. I get it to 5 3/4. I add 1 little line, or move it up 1 little line, and there we are. So whichever you prefer, 5 3/4 plus 1, or 5 13/16. Okay, then this is super easy. You're just going to score it on all 4 sides at 1 1/2. Yep, that's it. So score it at 1 1/2. There's one. Score it at 1 1/2. 2 sides. 1 1/2. 3 sides. 1 1/2. 4 sides. Okay. Super easy. So have a little bit of a look. You can see there's a big square and then the sides all going round. Now the next thing, to make this shake a bit, you need to take one of your dies, a circle die. You could do another shape if you want, and it needs to fit in that middle square, and you're going to die cut it out. So I'm just going to do that. The size of this is 4. So I would say just below 2 1/2, but not as small as 2 1/4, which is not very helpful, is it? Okay. Does it say on it what it is? No. Let's die cut it and I'll have a look for you. So I'm just going to die cut this over here because I don't want to bring my machine on the camera. Okay. So that takes out that piece. Okay, so that's that. Now to build up your shake a bit, what we are going to do is we're going to score all 4 sides. So you've got nice crisp edges. And we're going to make our tabs. So scissors. So make your tabs like you would normally make your tabs. If you've never made one before, what you do is cut up on one side of the square in the corner. Then you cut into it. So you've got a little triangle sliver from your square, and then you do the same on the other side of your tab that you're making. Okay. So you end up with those 2 tiny triangles cut off. Then what I do is I turn it and I do the next one. And I just have found that it gives me a much squarer lid. Okay, just cut off those tabs. If I turn it each time. So I'm going to turn it again. You just cut into that score line. There. And I always flip it over to cut the outside because it's easier to cut away from you. Ooh. So that's that one. And that's that one. So that's the 4 pieces for your tabs. So now I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to concentrate on this bit. So I am going to cut a piece of acetate that is going to go on there and be the hold all my shaker pieces in. So the acetate is 2.5 by 2.5. So you could cut off a bit of packaging or clear something if you've got it. So And this is the moment where I lose the acetate that I cut. Here it is. Oh, that was pretty simple. So I need to stick that really tight so that nothing gets through. You could do it with Tumbo and just leave it to dry. But I want it to stick really quickly, so I am going to use some double-sided tape. Now I haven't got any of the thin stuff left, so I am just going to use a bit I've got, just get it to the right length, but I'm going to cut it in half. Yeah, you can, just use what you've got. Okay, so that is going to go either side of my circle. So it's going to go, you don't want it down the side of your box, you just want it alongside, which is why you need the thin stuff. Okay, so that's there. And I'm going to remove that now. Oh. One, press that on. Cut all my nails off because I couldn't cope with long nails. Some people have got the most beautiful nails, but I just can't do it. My hands are always either in the garden, in the washing up, they're always covered in ink, and it's just not a good look. I'm not sorry to say, I've never really, I love long nails that are really highly decorated on other people. I just can't do it myself. It's a good thing I've got boys, actually. I'd be useless with girls. But one day, hopefully, there'll be grandchildren, and hopefully it'll be a girl. Just because I need a craft companion. Okay. This is where nails come in handy. Okay, so I've put sticky all around it. So if I bring my acetate back over, make sure it covers up my window. Okay, so from that side, it looks pretty good. Okay, now I need Stampin'Up do this extra wide. What is it called? Oh my goodness, my brain. It's like dimensionals but in strips. Okay, so I'm just going to put that round the circle. Now it comes in a lot longer strips than this. This is just what I've got left, where I've trimmed it off a few times for different projects. Now there's no point doing it right the way around the back. You just want it round your circle because you want everyone to be able to see your pretty things that you are putting in the shaker card. And no one is going to see this. It's going to be covered. So is that going to be big enough? Oh, that's quite handy. Okay, so make sure there's no join. Make sure there's no gap, not there's no join. Okay, then before you peel anything off, die cut or get your sequins or whatever you want. Are you ready for some wow? Okay, so these, remember me saying about those little die cut leaves from the seasonal swirls dies? So these, and these tiny, where are you? Tiny dies. Well, look at this. Look at the detail on that. So what I've done is picked out some colours from Eden's Garden, and I'm just going to put them on. Now, obviously, the gold ones are gold one side and white the other, so I'm going to make sure that they're face down so that the gold shows up. There is a few white ones in there. There is some evening evergreen. That's why I'm not just tipping them straight in, because I want to make sure they're all round the right way. And once I've stuck this on, it will be a pain to get off. Let's just put some of those greens and whites. Got some soft succulent and some evening evergreen. A few more gold. That one. Oh, that's a gold one. Some more gold. But aren't these gorgeous though? They're the most cutest, tiniest detailed leaves I've ever seen. Absolutely love them. I can see just spending an evening die cutting leaves is going to be very pleasant. Right, now I've put quite a lot on there. I'm just going to... Ta-da! Right, now I'm going to peel off the edge of the sticky pads or sticky strips. Make sure you've got it all off. And then I've got another piece that is cut, that is 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, and that's just going to hide all of that there. Okay, ta-da, just like that. Now you can't see it. Now I'm going to do the tabs. So put some glue on your tabs, enough but not too much, and bring that round, form a nice square. Right angled corner. This one. So enough glue but not too much. Just bring that up. And then there's 2 more. Now these ones I put both glue on at the same time. Just because it's quite tricky to get glue inside once the side is up. So I just concentrate on one, but I've already put glue on both. So there's that one, and now concentrate on this one. Okay, and then earlier I found that one of my blocks from Stampin' Up, now is it a D? A D block fits perfectly in there. And that just gives you enough oomph to press down to make sure that that's really stuck. Okay. And look at that. Isn't that lovely? Okay. Now you could leave it like that. Okay. That would just go on there. And that actually looks really stylish. Ta-da! And just wrap some ribbon round. I'm going to finish the outside panels with these. So I've got another piece of soft succulent. Oh, do I though? Because that actually isn't looking as good. Oh, decisions. Do you know what? I've cut it, so let's do it. But I actually do like the dark green lid. No, let's do it, Claire. So this piece of card is 2 1/2. So 2 1/2 wide by 1 1/4, and that's just going to go on to the side there. I'm going to turn it round and do the next one. So obviously you need 4 of these. 2 1/2 by 1 1/4. So looking at this now and thinking this could be a nice gift for somebody's birthday. It could be a wedding box. It could be a Christmas box. It can be whatever you want it to be. You just add the sentiments that suit the occasion. I mean, I've used leaves as my shaker, but I was talking to my ladies earlier today about how I've got lots of different tiny embellishments, especially metal ones, that I just seem to hoard. I'm sure that there's some really nice ones that could go in. Now this again is 1 by 2 1/4, and you've got 4 of these. Nearly there. So if you've liked listening and crafting along with me today, just click on subscribe. I try and post a video at least once a week, time and family life allowing. I love to see your makes, so just send me a picture, createdtheottaway@gmail.com, or just leave me a comment. So I think that's it. So that is our second explosion box, and this was our first. Oh, let's put that back in. Put that back in. Put that in. What I would do is probably tie a ribbon around the whole thing, and just gift it. Oh, good timing, kitty cat. Thanks for watching. Oh, cat, let me just show you. Is that going to move? Is there a cat here? There's Rosie. Hi, Rose. Thanks for watching. Bye.